Hello guys! Today I would like to do a couple of small interactions that you should know when playing Nekroz Dogmatika. And this is only like a part. only have 5 examples. And these are small things that you can use to gain an advantage on your opponent. So keep those in mind. First one is involving Nadir. If your opponent has Ghost Spell or anything that negates the activation of Nadir's Servant, you can activate another Nadir Servant. This is really important in case you get Ghost Spell, because Ghost Spell is currently a very popular hand trap. And this allows you to resolve multiple Nadir if you open multiple Nadir. Then, otherwise, but you can't do it if your opponent would have Ash Blossomed those, because Ash Blossom negates the effect. Next one. This may come up in Dragon Link or the matchup here, which is Tri-Brigade. If you go ahead and Unicore under those, so let me fast forward those. So the thing is, cards that that remove themselves from the board for cost are not affected by Unicore anymore. So cards like Double Dragon Lords can get rid of Maximus, for example, in this case. Or it could bounce Unicore itself, and then they can play through the Unicore. So keep that in mind, and if you can, always try to get rid of the Ancient Warrior Oath or the Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Good. Next interaction. This is a small thing that Nadir's Servant can do through Droll. And this is kind of simple, but it still should be considered. So let's resolve this proxy play. So I get Drolled here. And yeah, Droll is a strong hand trap, but sometimes you can actually play around Droll. And then in this case, you can play around Droll by using Shaddoll Fusion to send whatever you want to send off of Nadir's Servant. And then use Nadir's Servant to get the card back that you wanted. So in this case, it actually causes an OTK, because you get to add back the Maximus, because he may have drolled you, but you can still add from your graveyard, and Nadir's Servant can also add from graveyard, which is pretty important. And yeah, this is then game. Next interaction is Dark Ruler No More versus Unicorn plus Herald. This is one that a lot of people will get you a judge call on, so this one is really important. So your opponent, you control Unicorn and Herald of the Arclight. So your opponent will either Dark Ruler your board, or even better, do droplets on your board and try to negate the Unicorn and the Herald. So they send them 2 cards to negate those 2 cards, which means, but the thing is, Unicorn is already negating the Herald of the Arclight, and because Unicorn is being negated by Herald of the Arclight, Dark Ruler or Forbidden Droplet can no longer negate the Herald. And in case of Forbidden Droplet can still be activated because it reduces the attack of the monster. So the Herald would be reduced by 300, and he would lose a card in hand, which is pretty solid if people misplay like that against you. So now that the Herald was not negated by Dark Ruler no more, but the Unicorn was, Herald is no longer negated by Unicorn, and therefore the Herald Floodgate effect is active, and cards like Tri-Brigade Fractal cannot be activated from hand anymore. So and you still got the negate effect off of the Herald. So this allows you to play around a lot of things. This basically gives you this Dark Ruler proof board, and in case of you getting impermed on Unicore, you still have the Floodgate effect of Herald of the Arclight. And if you can protect it, even better. So cards like Valkyrus can be really solid together with Herald of the Arclight. Next one here, this is how White Knight of Dogmatika works. Some people still get confused with this effect, but this is a trigger effect and not a quick effect. So in case of White Knight of Dogmatika, your opponent activates card effects, and then you have to activate him on resolution as a response to the successful activation of a card, not the attempted activation of a card. And this allows you to activate White Knight of Dogmatika. Also, it's also legal if the effect is negated. So if you activate Fleur de Lis and negate the effect of a monster that is activating its effect, you still can activate White Knight of Dogmatika, which is a pretty neat in-archetype combo. And therefore, yeah, you get to resolve on resolution. But if your opponent, for example, would activate Impermanence on White Knight of Dogmatika, you could not respond to that Impermanence with your White Knight of Dogmatika, which makes him really hard to use. So he's like an early interruption that you want to use in your turn, mainly because the attack boost can come up, and also, of course, you want the guy to resolve, of course. So that is pretty important. So this covers the interactions I want to show to you today. If you want to see more stuff, just ask me in the comment sections. Maybe I'm going to do another video about these interactions. But for now, see ya, stay safe during the pandemic, and bye.